The Nice Guys podcast is sort of social, demented and sad, but social, right?
I am always thinking in earthquake mode now. Like, oh, is that just an earthquake? Not that it does anything, but
the ground moving below me being a normal thing. I do not want to live there. I'm sorry. I never, ever, ever want to live somewhere where the ground moving below me at any given time is a relatively normal thing.
It is now 7:06. You have exactly 8 hours and 54 minutes to think about why you are here, to ponder the error of your ways. You will not talk, you will not move from these seats, and you will definitely not listen to the Nice Guys on Business podcast. Dear Mr. Vernon, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention for whatever it is we did wrong, but we think you're crazy to make us write an essay telling you who we think we are. You see us as you want to see us, in the simplest terms, in the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is the Nice Guys on Business. Most days, they take their meds. This is not one of those days. Welcome to Fuckery with the Nice Guys. No interviews, no business content. Just your two favorite slack-jawed mouth breathers ranting about whatever. Now, strap yourselves in for Nice Guys Fuckery with the kings of fuckery, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
It's been a very busy day. I'm not used to the lady not saying, "Hey, I'm recording you, assholes."
Dude, I love that so much, but I agree. I'm not used to it. I do have a request for our episode today, because as you said, it's any way possible.
Then we can keep it to 30 minutes.
Dude, you read my fucking mind. I was going to say under an hour. I mean, okay. I'm okay with under an hour.
All right.
But God damn, you and I had a very intense client meeting that, dude, that was like right on the fence. I was just ready for you to fucking fire them. And I think I calmed them down a bit, but that was intense. And then about an hour and a half before that, I had an hour-long meeting with Ashley about all the things that we just talked about. And right after our client meeting, I had a 2-hour meeting that was all about solving complicated problems. My fucking brain hurts. God damn.
You know, I couldn't, your nose looks a little brown, like you've been shoving it up somebody's asshole for the last
but I thought it looked like that at the end of our client meeting.
Oh no. You know, to a degree, I mean, not to a degree, she was absolutely 100% right with everything. You just sometimes one does not like to hear that your team has either failed you or not lived up to expectation. And when I hear that, I get a little defensive first, and I should go into listen mode, just hear what they have to say. I stayed as long as in that mode as I could before I had to share a little bit about, hold on a second, you're going a little further than I thought that you should be going with digging in. So I had to give a little pushback, and I hope it didn't come across as rude. Did it? I did.
Did you actually record the meeting?
I didn't record the meeting, but I did the AI summary of the meeting.
Oh yeah, no, that's the AI summary is not going to give you the subtlety of were you rude or not, because between you and me, if you may have crossed that line, I think. Now, here's the worst part. I'm trying to figure. I want to say this in the right way.
Yeah.
The thing that you were defending.
Yeah.
Early on, you defended something that I said. Now, and you said, hey, this is what Strickland said. It wasn't exactly what I meant.
But
so you were defending me, even though it wasn't exactly right.
I defended what I heard, and I wanted to make sure that it was clear, because there was, put this client aside for a second. Sorry, Nice Guy community. I'm gonna just put this aside and tell you about another client that you don't know and aren't aware of either. There was an email exchange between you and a very happy client, very great client, wonderful client. she misunderstood something and I had to clarify. So I had to, even though I was only CC'd and not the main recipient of that email, you see the email, it's probably the one that we just discussed. There was a variance of somebody defining what was promised versus what was thought to be promised. And I wanted to make it really clear. So I said, hey, which one do you mean? Because I think Strickland means this. And sometimes I don't know. I should just give you a chance to speak up before I say anything. But like with today, the example, I should have just let you said what you wanted to say. I could have probably not even attended the meeting and it would have had a better outcome than we had. Oh my God. I just was concerned that why do I do this all the time? I wouldn't know why I do this.
I just think it's really funny. So welcome back. Before I forget, my name is Strickland Bonner. On the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler. We've had situations in the past with our company. And by the way, this is a bigger picture question about perception and expectations when it comes to a company that you're working with or a service that you are getting or giving. But it's funny to me because we've had a number of situations over the past number of years where I have, how do we say, flown off the handle a bit, maybe. I have maybe overreacted to a client. Yeah.
With a client, to the client?
Very Christina Martini.
Oh, well, I wasn't privy to that. I heard you.
I emailed, and you, as soon as I emailed and I copied you, you reached out to me. Now, this was many years ago now. You reached out to me and basically said, what the fuck are you doing?
I thought you meant face to face. Virtual meeting like this. You tend to be nastier in emails. And I tend to be nasty. I tend to be more curt and short and like sarcastic in meetings. and yeah, if we just had the best of both worlds, I think I'm a better explainer through email in shorter amount of time than you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you do a much better job with quashing somebody's ill feelings through personal, even virtual meetings, face to face.
But I think what the hard part of that is I have to want to do it, right? If I've got a client that I really feel is being unreasonable and that I don't really want to keep them, I don't really find a reason to calm them down.
like the one we just fired.
No, exactly. Yes. Great example. The one we just fired. Like the one we met with today. Yes. This is a client I want to keep. And I honestly believe we had, let's just say, misunderstanding. And even more importantly, I think how do we say this? Clash of personalities, maybe? Yeah. Big time. And that's okay. I wanted to keep them. But the one we just fired, oh my God, I was very happy to fire her. I did not want to continue to point out how wrong she was. I'm just like, you know what? We're done. We're going to agree to disagree.
So when it comes down to it, what Strickland's point is he's been going from meeting to meeting, and they haven't just been like informative meetings. They've been meetings that require a lot of bandwidth.
Yeah, there have been plenty of meetings that I'm part of where it's like I'm just half paying attention in the background. These were not those today, not one bit.
I will tell you though, I'm a huge fan, not so that I can not pay attention during the meeting, but I am a huge fan now of the AI companion in Zoom called Summary. If you are in our community and you use Zoom to any degree, it's a free service that Zoom provides, and it basically will summarize the topics that you discuss and the action items. Now, it doesn't get every one of them right, because unless you only asked for a summary of the specific portion of the meeting that was the meeting, like some of the stuff that we talked about before I hit record, that's going to come up in the summary. And if I were to use that in our show notes, that wouldn't be proper because nobody has any idea what we were talking about before we hit record. And some of the action items are tied into that stuff we talked about. So, but if you are a fan of using Zoom meetings, but you like the idea of somebody walking away from the meeting and saying, what the fuck were those action items I'm supposed to do again? Which Strickland generally is very, very good at that. I tend to not be able to write things down as I'm talking because I always think it's rude to write shit down as I'm talking to somebody, but you have to because you don't want to forget the items. So Zoom Summary is a great AI feature, and it's, I would say, pretty damn accurate. So I like using it.
It's very interesting. And I liked the, I think I made a comment to you in an email after I got it back because, hang on, I'm trying to look for the right one now. About, because your AI summary in the meeting we had, it included something about co-host or sharing screens or something, right?
Yeah.
It was like, I think one of the first things that the AI said was, Doug and Strickland discussed Tom becoming the co-host. Perhaps Doug should teach Tom how to be a co-host. And I'm thinking to myself, do you know how many times that's going to come up in a Zoom meeting? Like at least 1 out of every 10 Zoom meetings, somebody's going to be like, oh, let me make you the co-host. Like they should just filter that out of
remember, artificial
AI.
intelligence, it's smart. It's a active learning process. And I think that the more you use it, the more it knows what you're all about. And it knows, it's really funny when the person that you're talking to, let's say it says, like, instead of it saying Strickland Bonner, it says coach on the screen. It will have the summary. Your name will be Coach. It won't be Strickland. And on one of them, it was out of state caller. So I kept reading out of state caller said, and I'm like, oh, now a feature that would be nice that I don't see that Zoom has yet is the ability, like on Rev or one of the other transcription programs that's out there, AI transcription. If you could change speaker name one place, it will change it all the way throughout. It doesn't have that feature quite yet in Zoom, but I'm sure it's coming. I'm sure it's on its way.
I'm sure.
The other thing that's a really cool feature in Zoom, if anybody has an automated scheduler, again, this is really good business advice we're providing here, but I have really even better business advice right after this. You'll like what I'm about to do after this. Zoom scheduler is really good. So where Acuity might be $20 or $25 for a single user, and Calendly, same thing. I know they have free accounts, but the free accounts don't really give you a lot of power. Zoom has a scheduler that does the same exact thing for $5 a month.
Oh, nice.
So I would tell you, if you use Zoom on a regular basis, and even if you don't use Zoom on a regular basis, but you want to schedule meetings, I think you can do it even if you have a free account, you can add Zoom Scheduler for $5. So just check it out for those in our community that are Zoom users and fans of Zoom. Here's another opportunity to take it a little bit deeper.
Cool.
That's what she said.
Was that the good business advice or the better business advice?
No, here comes the better business. Oh shit, I just closed it. Hold on a second. I gotta go open it again. Okay. So, how long we've been podcasting, Strick?
7 years, 8 years? I don't even know. I lost count.
I think in the same thing. We started the podcast in February of 2015. So we're past February of 2023. So we're 8 years in, plus we're almost 9 years into this journey. 8.5 years in, 1,500 episodes, pretty much millions of listeners have listened to our podcast. But I have never really thought about this question, and maybe I'll just read the question, or I'll read the topic, and then we'll start filling in the blanks. It's the top 10 actions real podcasters do every day.
Okay.
Okay. So I thought it was really interesting. I'm looking at this list and I'm thinking, okay, I do some of these cool things every day. I mean, I would consider myself a real podcaster. I mean, we make a living podcasting. We professionally produce podcasts. But then I came up with a second list I thought was really important. And then I kind of compared which do I do more of, on the other list or on the top 10 things that real podcasters do every day. The other list that I came up with was the top 10 things that lazy people do every day. And so I wanted to compare the two to see, are you more of a lazy person or more of a real podcaster? So what do you say? You want to dig into that list a little bit?
Yeah. What is that what is the crossover in the Venn diagram of that? Yeah.
All right. So you could just say yes or no. You don't have to get into any details, and I'm not going to read like the whole definition of what these things are, but real podcasters deal with content planning every day. Do we do that?
Okay. Do we do that? No,
yes.
We don't.
No, exactly.
Hell no.
Okay. Real podcasters record podcasts every day.
I don't know that I agree with that because there are very few real podcasters out there who are producing 5 or 6 episodes a week.
Okay.
So I don't know that I agree with that.
All right.
Okay.
So we'll put a questionable next to that. But what is our answer, though? We do.
No, hell no.
Okay. Real podcast.
In fact, somebody was asking me, it's actually somebody that I'm seeing now that it was funny. So, told her I was a podcaster and she asked what the podcast was before we met in person.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, Jennifer, do me a favor. Don't listen yet, please. She's like, what? You have a podcast? You don't want me to listen? I'm like, I just don't want you to listen before we actually meet in person. I mean, I don't want you to get the wrong impression of me before we've actually met. And I, of course, completely forgot that I said that. And then she texted me today, and she's like, hey, is it okay if I listen to episodes now? And I said,
how long have you been seeing her?
Oh, not long, a week or two.
Oh,
and,
okay. All right. So it's not like it's been months and she just
no.
it out.
And she said, when do you record? And I'm like, tonight. And she's like, doesn't it get released tomorrow?
That's kind of
yeah. And don't you release it like early in the morning? Like, yeah. Well, like, do you have to edit and work up? No, we just slap it up.
So that would lead to point number 3 that real podcasters do every day. Every day, real podcasters edit.
No, we don't do that.
Okay.
Hang on. We do hire people to edit every day, though. Yes, we have many people that we pay to edit every day.
All right. So then real podcasters, item number 4, action item number 4. Real podcasters, of course, every day do research.
No, we don't do that.
No, definitely don't. Okay. Then, of course, if we're not doing research or editing or recording or content planning every day, of course, then we do promotion every day on social media.
Oh, right? No.
Okay.
We don't do that.
All right. Item number 6, what real podcasters do. So far, we're 0 for 5. Okay. 0 for 5. Real podcasters network every day.
No, we don't do that. I think I sent you an email the other day where it said, hey, this is a person who wants to be on our show, and I think they might become a client. But if that happens, I send you those emails once a week, every other week, maybe not every day, not anywhere close.
Real podcasters, action item number 7, create content aside from their podcasts every day, including blog posts, videos, and other social media content.
Again, we pay people to do that every day, not for our show, of course. I mean, for other shows.
No. Of course, then I know we have to do number 8. Action item number 8, real podcasters have real engagement with real people every day.
Jared calls us and we have real engagement with Jared when we record our episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's give us one. We got one.
And we have 5 voicemails actually. So I'd be surprised if they're all from Jared.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. You will love this next one. Real podcasters every day monitor analytics.
Doug used to do that 5 times a fucking day.
So I have a credit. Actually, it's lasted us for 8 years. That's
exactly.
All right. And so far, I think we'll give us 1.5 out of 10, and we got one more to go. Real podcasters are constantly learning. They're a learning, evolving mechanism. Podcasters invest every day in learning about new techniques, technologies, and industry trends to stay competitive. Do we do that?
I learn every day, but not about fucking podcasting ways to stay competitive now.
Is Penthouse Forum, does that include learning? Is that even still a thing, Penthouse Forum?
I was exactly what I was going to say. Like, is it still a thing? That's nuts.
All right. So we really probably scored about maybe a 20, maybe 30% on that. Yeah. So we're definitely got a failing grade. So let me go on to list number 2, because I think this will be the telltale of all of them. Here are the top 10 things that lazy people do every day. All right. So you tell me if this is how we roll. Lazy people procrastinate every day.
I don't want to answer that question right now. Can we come back to it tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Let's come back on that one tomorrow. Let's see. Lazy people avoid physical activity every day.
I'm standing up right now.
Oh, that's true. All
That's
right.
physical activity, right?
All right, that's cool. That gives us 2. Lazy people indulge in unproductive habits such as spending excessive time on activities like binge watching Suits, scrolling social media, and playing video games. I don't play video games, but I definitely spend a lot of time binge watching television. How about you?
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I get like I got into Civilization Civ 6. I started playing again, and man, you don't play the game for an hour. It's like hours at a time because you just dive into it. It's like, oh, just one more turn. Oh, just one more turn, and then it's 3 a.m. and it's like, fuck.
All right, so we are 3 for 3, doing great so far on the lazy people list. How about as far as lazy people neglect responsibilities, avoid chores, work assignments, and other obligations consistently?
Well, Doug, you avoid working more than 3 or 4 hours a day every week, right?
Definitely, I don't want to do that. Okay, so we're 4 for 4 so far. I don't know if I'm going to qualify for this one. Lazy people sleep in, oversleeping or staying in bed longer than necessary. Wait a minute. That's the important word there. Necessary? Isn't it necessary to stay? That is the word I need to find a little bit closer.
Define necessary? Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't do that. I do get up relatively early most days. Yeah.
All right. Lazy people skip meals.
Yeah. Is that lazy? I call it dieting. I call it staying healthy. Skipping meals. That's a weird one.
Oh, wait a minute.
Lazy people
they have in
meals.
parentheses eating lots of anytizers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Lazy people avoid learning, ignore health concerns, and isolate from social activities. Those are the next 3.
I do isolate from social activities sometimes because I don't like people very much. But the other ones, I don't do any of the other ones.
All right. And lack of planning. Lazy people tend to fail to set goals, make to-do lists, or plan for the future.
I did a lot of that today, but most days, not so much.
Okay. So here's the score as I see it. The score is real podcasters. In order to be qualified as a real podcaster, we scored 3 out of 10. On the lazy people list, we scored 7 out of 10. So it's obvious to see we are ambitiously lazy. Okay.
Apparently.
All right, we're doing good. So I just wanted to share that if you were following along on the in our nice guy community, let us know. Are you a real podcaster or are you a lazy person? All right, let's
Not
do
that
it.
the two are mutually exclusive.
We are probably about 20 minutes in because I think we had about 10 minutes of conversation. But I wish Zoom would come up with a new way to time this. I want them to have a how much time did you spend before you hit record button? Because I think that would be important. How many people that are podcasters are Zoomers?
True, good point.
Or maybe it could be a podcast Zoom for podcasters.
Well, aren't there a whole bunch of Zoom plugins now? Isn't one of the plugins like a timer where you can start the timer whenever you want? I couldn't
figure out how to get that to work. I don't know how that works.
Do you get spam emails? I'm sorry, not spam emails. Of course we do. Spam texts.
Yes.
Where you'll get a text and it's like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Or, "Hey, can we meet for breakfast?" Where like they send you a text like they know who you are and you're supposed to reply back with, "Who is this?" And like, "Oh, this is Wendy. Don't you remember me?" or some shit like that.
Well, I never respond to them. I just block them, but I did get a couple today. One of them was, how much capital does your business need? Take care of it same day, no fees or extra costs. How much works for you?
Okay, but that's today. But that's like a business spammy, which makes sense. Yeah, and they're annoying. I agree. But
I get this one a lot. Oh, go ahead. You were going to say something.
No, go ahead.
I get this a lot. This happens probably a handful of times every week. The USPS package has arrived at our warehouse and cannot be delivered due to incomplete information. Please confirm your address in the link below. Like, are you fucking
interesting?
Kidding me? That's like somebody that's trying to get more information from me.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, not giving it to them.
Mm.
And then it's like www.jerrysfriend.com. I'm like, wait a minute.
Jerry's friend.
I don't know, whatever. It's like, come on. It's not even a .gov or a .usps URL. It's like, come on. It's like when the IRS calls and starts yelling at me about the fact that I owe them money, and I'm like, fucking, are you stupid? The IRS doesn't call you. No one from the IRS calls you. They will send you a certified letter, or they'll send you something in the mail, an official document, if it is legit. The IRS does not call you. So
No.
Tip number 17 today. If you ever get a call from the IRS, it's not legit.
It's not legit. No. I got a text, and it's one of these where I know this is like the scam of, hey, you have a wrong number, and then they try to engage you. But it says, "Hi, Wendy. Did you receive the clothes I donated to the orphanage last week? I want to give the kids some books next week." Like, that's pretty extensive and specific, right?
Right.
But hey, while we're on the call, I'm going to go, "I'm sorry, I'm not Wendy. You must have a wrong number," kind of thing, and see what happens. I guarantee you this is some fucking spammy something where they're going to try to engage me.
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is you got that text message that said, "Hey, Wendy, books, et cetera, et cetera." It's obvious. It's going into details. You are now about to respond to that text message. And what you're saying is you're guaranteeing it's spam because why?
Well, okay, I'm not guaranteeing it's spam.
No, I am. I'm
guessing.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that I'm going to get another email back. I'm sorry, text. I'm going to get a text back that's like, "Oh, hey, so like one of these like fucking, do you want to meet? Whatever bullshit. How are you? Like, I'm always looking for new friends. Whatever bullshit."
Where does that go though? I'm just curious. What is
dude? You and me both. Every time I get those, I think to myself, who the hell would reply back? And then when they realize that they don't know you, strike up a conversation. How lonely do you have to be?
And then it ends up being like a 6-legged, 600-pound woman from some place that actually is a guy. It's not.
Yeah, exactly. I don't get it.
Really? We seriously have 5 voicemails?
5 voicemails, yeah.
Damn, that is a lot of
I forgot to click the share sound button. I was so worried about all the other little settings and shit. I forgot to click share.
We're going to do this. We're now about 25 minutes in. We're going to listen to the voicemails, and then we are just going to get out of here. Unless, of course, the voicemails cause some level of controversy, which has been known to happen.
But dude, that would make me happy. I'm just,
all right.
My brain is fried today. I'm totally ready to make this a short episode.
I'm going to give you a pass here, and I'm just going to say, go ahead and bump that voicemail theme song music right up to the edge.
Are you committing to not interrupting?
You can even mute me if you don't believe me.
I'm going to trust you on this one. I'm going to push it right up to the edge here. So I'm not even going to think about hitting the stop button because you're not going to interrupt.
Before we start, I just want to ask the Magic 8 Ball a question.
Yeah.
Okay. Magic 8 Ball. Can I possibly remain silent? No, wait a minute. That's too arbitrary. Can I remain silent? Can I remain silent?
Okay. Magic 8 Ball. What say you?
That's a good question. I'm going to have to talk to my wife about that one. Hang on a second, guys. Honey? Oh, she said no fucking way.
She said no fucking way.
All right. Well, Magic 8 Ball knows me pretty well. I'm going to try to, now that I know that Magic 8 Ball, it gave the over under, I am going to, I'm going to remain silent because I want to win this bet.
Okay. Are we ready?
I am ready.
Oops. I hit it too soon, but that's okay. We're going to let go anyway.
Hey, Doug. Hey, Strick. Jared here. So you guys are talking about Doug's RV trip and JJ's. So, Doug, you left something out, man. I got to know. Here you're talking about hooking up every night. Did JJ know? Or was she included? I'm confused by this whole situation. And you're only paying $100 for a hookup.
Janky hookup.
So is that like a 2-for-1 deal?
Damn.
Oh shit! I couldn't resist. Anyways, guys, glad to hear you guys back together again. Even though I got to sit in. Greg, thank you for the shout out. I appreciate it, buddy. And it was a pleasure to sit in with you. Anyways, guys, can't wait to get the rest of the episode. And Doug, sorry to hear about your mom. That's that's kind of crazy. I don't know. Maybe he just thought that I'm 91 years old. I ain't putting up with this shit anymore. I don't want somebody nagging me. I don't know. Not to say your mom's a nag, but just the way he described it, maybe that was his attitude because he was feeling that. All right, guys. I don't know. Good luck. Good luck, Doug. And hopefully everything works out for him. All right, buddy. See you guys. Bye.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
I want to provide a Rosalie update. That is my mom's name. I want to provide a Rosalie update. Ted has remained in the house. He's not leaving. He just had a bad moment, I think. My mom thinks that he had a scare of some sort. He got scared and he started just repelling, pushing her away. And that was it. And then he never left. Remember, the first reason he said he wasn't leaving was because he didn't have a chance to get the oil changed in his car. And then he's just going to wait until the weekend to get that done. Then he's going to take off on Saturday. Well, Saturday came and went. He never said a word about it. Then she says, "Hey, aren't you leaving?" And then, so that's where we are right now. So we're back to normal again. Thank God we're back to normal. I love my mom, and I know that she's a wonderful person, and she raised she raised me, so fuck whatever. But she raised my brother. My brother was a nice guy. But she is a handful. I would say that she is definitely she could be a nag a little bit if she wants to be, and she can be a little bit cutting, but she's also such a giving person. So I think he was just blinded by the nagging and didn't quite see the person that cooks his meals, does his laundry, make sure that he's got all the stuff around him that he needs. So, and she's doing fine. Thank God for Ted. Long live Ted.
Appreciate the update. We ready for the next voicemail?
Yes, go.
Okay.
Hey, Doug. Hey, Strick. Jared here. So you guys are talking about the political action committees, and it came about because you said, how do we stop the interference of BlackRock and all those others? And I mean, Strick is onto something there. And I also feel like a lot of it has to start with banning the ability of these pharmaceutical companies to advertise. And that may sound silly, but if you think about it, look at where a lot of that money gets funneled and who it gets funneled to. And it's going straight to the people who have their hands way, way deep into politics. And it allows them to buy advertising at places and pay overinflated advertising prices in order to throw their support without officially throwing their support. So that's that's a whole nother avenue and another place where they've got their hands back behind pulling puppet strings as well. But anyways, I just wanted to throw that angle out there because I don't even know why it's legal for them to advertise, put out a good fucking product that doesn't hurt people, and then doctors will use it, stop being allowed to pay for advertising, getting people asking about it and paying, and not to mention how much they invest in doctors. So, hey, just give this to them, and we'll do this, and this for you. So that's another side of it too. All right, guys, just my thoughts on the matter too. All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, there's so goddamn much money in politics. It's insane. Now, Doug, do you remember growing up before you would see ads for medications fucking everywhere, right?
Yeah, there was two things that were going on television. You would have cigarette ads, commercials would be on television, and there would be no pharmaceutical ads at all. It was just the opposite. There was no attorneys couldn't advertise. Pharmaceutical companies couldn't advertise, but cigarette companies could.
Yeah. Yep. That was pretty much it.
At what point do we discover or decide that the the
Pharmaceutical companies can advertise?
That corporate America and pharmaceutical companies actually are running the world. At what point do we actually come to the conclusion that this is the reality of where the money comes from, and this is who is running and making decisions in our government and the tobacco lobby, for that matter?
I have no idea. Some people have probably known it for years, and we're just realizing it now. But there are lots of people that still don't realize it. So, it is what it is.
All right. Let me just go ahead and light up. Get my attorney on the phone. All right, that was 2 for voicemail. We didn't even ask Magic 8 Ball if all 5 messages or 6, however many we have, or if they're all Jared. They could all be Jared for that matter.
Oh, God, I hope not. I mean, love you, Jared, but that's a lot of Jared.
That is a lot of Jared. We give Jared as much time as we've given ourselves.
I know, right?
All right, voicemail number 3. Let's do it.
Okay.
Hey, Doug. Hey, Strickland here. Voicemail number 3, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, guys, something else just popped in my head as Strick was talking about, parties actually sitting down side by side and voting across party lines and things like that. And I think that something that would help that a lot, and I didn't listen to everything you said, Strick, but I was agreeing with where you were headed with it. But something that would help with that is if they do, and I think they're working on it, they do get this passed, or they make it where when you put a bill out, it's one item. Stop fucking filling it with all your bullshit things that you're trying to sneak under the radar when you have a 8,000 page fucking bill. You want to raise taxes? Fucking just raise taxes is the bill. You want to cut spending? Cut spending's the only thing in the bill. There's not also funding for studies of cow shit in Malaysia. There's not also all these other studies that they're filling the bills with, and the bullshit that they're trying to slip in there, hoping nobody ever sees. So instantly, you put something to vote for me, and you've got 8,000 different things, and I have a day to fucking read it, because that's what they do a lot of times, is you only have a few days to read these things. Nobody can get through it. Nobody has a fucking clue what's in these. And you got to eliminate that shit. You want to propose a bill? You want to propose a change? One change per item. Figure it the fuck out. And then, you know what? You'll start having people on both sides of the line work together. But it's when they fill all that other bullshit in there, and this isn't one side or the other. This is all of them. They just fill it full of shit and make it where nobody wants to agree. And yeah, I'll just vote party lines at that point, because it's a bullshit vote anyways. All right, guys. Man, I'm just giving you all kinds of my 2 cents this week. See you guys. Appreciate you. And enjoying the show.
Tell us how you really feel, Jared.
I get that. I mean, I don't want to go too deep into it because I don't know enough about politics to speak from an educated perspective. But I can tell you what I do know is that they do jam all of these things into the different bills before they become laws, and they tie in some things that are irrelevant even based upon the bill itself. They'll put some other arbitrary thing in there because they don't want to run it through another way, because they know there's no way that it'll ever get passed. That's the kind of stuff that really gets me. These 200-page, 500-page, 1,000-page bills that are trying to be put through. Oh, well, on page 997, didn't you see that this also takes into account blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, I don't want fucking that funded, but it's a part of the bigger package. So Jared's right. Then it just becomes a matter of voting on party lines, which, again, I think it sucks. It takes the whole idea of having a unique and balanced legislation happening. It just doesn't happen that way.
It's a total fucking mess. And I think one of the things that Jared was referring to when they elected Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House, one of the rules was that they had to have legislation available for 72 hours before voting on it. And I totally agree with that. That basically, what he said is like, they'll come up with a bill and you got like 5 hours to read this 8,000 page bill and you're expected to vote on it. And a bunch of Republicans, I think rightly so, I totally agree with this, said this is bullshit. Like, this is exactly why government is broken, because even if we want to do the right thing, we can't, because we want to understand what we're voting on. But fucking A, you give us 8,000 pages 5 hours before the vote, it's not going to happen. So I totally agree with that.
As soon as you said Kevin McCarthy, I'm like, do we have a speaker yet? So then I go to Google and I literally type, do we, that just those 4 letters, do space we, and it filled in the sentence, have a speaker of the house yet? I'm like, oh my God, that looks like that is a hot topic for today on Google. Do we have a speaker of the house? It looks like Jim Jordan. It doesn't look like he's going to be it either.
Oh, no. I mean, I didn't read it. I haven't read since this morning, but as of last night or this morning or something, he's losing votes. Like, apparently he's trying to, again, I can't attribute this directly to him, but apparently a number of legislators who are against him are being strong-armed. Now, I don't know, and not only strong-armed, threatened. Like, a guy, one of the congressmen got a threat that said, like, we're going to find your wife. We're going to hunt down your wife and family if you don't vote for Jim Jordan. Now, it could be that they're just like pushing this on Fox News, and so the crazies that watch Fox News are doing it. But like, if I'm Jim Jordan, I'm going to fucking publicly denounce that shit. Right? Like, and they just don't say anything. It's okay. I mean, the way I see it, this is really where the parties have gotten just fucking ridiculous. And Jared, I'm sure you will have an opinion on this, and I'm totally cool hearing about it, or anybody else that has an opinion on it. But the way I see it, when the Democrats disagree on something, they sit down and talk about it and work out a compromise. Where the Republican Party is right now, it's, let's just fucking threaten and cajole, and like, you got to fucking talk about it. You got to compromise. They've got these far right legislators that are like, you know what? If you don't fucking do it my way, fuck you all. I'm not going to vote, and I'm not going to do it, and nothing's going to get done. And it's like, dude, you got to fucking compromise.
I saw, just as you were saying, I would denounce any threats. Jim Jordan denounces threats against Republicans who oppose his speaker bid. So,
so Jim Jordan doesn't denounce when people are threatening the spouse of a legislator. He doesn't denounce saying your political career will be over if you don't vote for me. He denounces people that don't vote for him. That's basically like, if you don't agree with me, fuck you. That's basically what he's saying.
Well, wait a minute. So maybe you misheard what I said. Jordan denounces threats against Republicans who oppose his speaker bid.
Okay, you got to say it one more time, because I want to make sure I'm really clear on it, because it still sounded to me like he's saying, I denounce anybody that is threatening me to run and be voted on again.
No, he's denouncing the threats against Republicans who oppose his speaker bid. So he's denouncing threats against Republicans.
He's denouncing threats who oppose his speaker bid.
So what you're saying, what you were saying the first time is right. He should denounce anybody that's threatening the Republicans. Is Jordan a Republican?
Yes.
Okay. So he's denouncing the threats against the other. So what he's saying is, hey, if you're threatening another Republican who's going to vote against me, I'm denouncing that. You can't say that. So he's actually doing the right thing. Like,
okay, well, that's good, because from what I heard from a couple of days ago, he wasn't doing the right thing. But I'm glad to hear that he is now.
He is now on the right ship, lollipop. All right, so we're good. Okay, let's go to voicemail number 4. This is going to be exciting. I think it's Jared again, because it looks like the same speech pattern.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, Doug. Hey, Strick. Jared here. Voicemail number 4.
Almost.
All right, boys. Sorry. This one's not for you guys directly. This is in response to Erica's voicemail.
Okay.
Yes, Erica, of course I am listening. I'm always listening. I'm worse than Google. Anyway, in relationship to, or in response to your comment about your mindset mastery, yes, absolutely, I enjoyed it. It was a great experience, and I definitely recommend it. So, Strick, give it a shot, man. Emily, go for it. It was really enjoyable, and America. Oh my gosh. Trying to combine words here. And Erica is phenomenal at running it and what she's doing, and she knows her shit.
Agreed.
And with a great experience. So definitely reach out to her and can.
Oops.
All right. I hope that helps, because you know what? It was good. I really did enjoy it. All right, fellas. Appreciate you guys. Just absolutely loved the episode. Really enjoyed it. All right, guys. See ya.
I'm glad we didn't ask Magic 8 Ball, would all these messages be from Jared? Because they may be.
Yeah, it was an emotionally taxed a bunch of content last week. If I remember correctly, we spent some time talking about politics. We spent some time talking about my mom's failed or almost failed relationship. And we probably, if we were on that path, I probably talked about my 2 divorces. I can't recall that we talked about all that stuff, but I'm thinking, I know we talked about politics to a degree.
I think so. Yeah.
Hey, I'm finished Suits. Are you done Suits yet?
No, not quite. I'm still working through it. I haven't stopped watching, but
took a break.
I took a little bit of a break. I'm still interested, but a lot of this shit. Okay, I'm going to tell you at a part where I am right now that's pissing me off.
Okay.
And I guess I'm like halfway through season 7. I think there's 8 seasons or something, right?
There's now 9. It's on, the last season is on Peacock. We joined Peacock just to see the last season.
Okay. So there's this case, and it's funny too, because I think I've only been kind of half paying attention the last 4 or 5 or 6 episodes, because I'm like, what the fuck?
Texting.
So he had this case through the law, Mike's case through the what is it, the side thing,
pro bono.
But it's the whole
the clinic.
Thank you. The whole law clinic, which takes on the hard luck cases, right? So it was one where with like engineers or something, or miners that were sick, and they offered a class action suit, or class action, like basically they got them to agree to give each of these 50 families or 100 families or something like $5 million a piece, right? But Mike finds out that no, it's not really just 50 families that have been affected. It's more like 500, right? And so he goes back to the main guy who can either accept or decline the offer. And the guy's like, this is more money than I've ever seen in my life. And I didn't think I was going to get anything.
The class action guy, the guy that's the defendant, but I mean the plaintiff, but the one that's in charge of making the decision for all of the other class action plaintiffs.
Right. Thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome.
And so Mike basically says, look, you could take $5 million for each of these 50 families, but I don't want you to do that because there are 400 more families that are not getting paid. And the guy is like, okay, so I got 50 families. These are people I worked with, friends of mine, that have all been irreparably harmed. And we're going to get enough money like we've never fucking seen before. But you want me to turn it down because there are 450 more people that you may or may not find that are not going to benefit from this. And you don't know if you can win that case, even if you can pull them together. And Mike's like, yeah, but you got to do the right thing. And he's like, okay, I'll do the right thing. And then the whole fucking case gets dropped. And it's like, no shit, it gets dropped. I'm like, I'm sorry. First of all, it's bullshit that the guy would turn that shit down. Second thing is, it's bullshit and stupid that Mike would push this guy so far to do the right fucking, it's just, it's like, it doesn't make sense to me. It's bullshit.
I don't disagree with you. I think that Suits is done very much from the perspective of the attorney rather than the perspective of the people that are in the lawsuits. The other thing that fascinates me is that as it gets later in the seasons, early on from season 1 to season 4 or 5, it was a lot of they're battling for their clients, and they're fighting for their clients, and they're winning, they have victories for their clients. as you start to get into the later part of the seasons, like 6, 7, 8, especially season 9, their battles are no longer for the clients. The battles are now internal battles. I'm like, hey, don't you have a law firm to run?
That's the
so
second
busy
part of the shit.
Infighting sucks.
Well, even in the first 4 or 5 or 6 seasons, there's little infighting things, which I thought were kind of annoying, but I don't necessarily. Yeah, where it's like, oh, I'm not going to help you with your case. It's like, we're all on the same fucking team here, aren't we? But you know what? I don't know law firms. Maybe it is competitive like that. That didn't surprise me that much. But where we're really deep into it now is the whole like, okay, well, our firm is going to die because all of our attorneys are being stolen. But then there's this, well, if we hire them back, then they're going to revolt against us and they're going to vote us out and we're going to combine with another law firm and shit. And I'm like, who the fuck cares? Is it really that important? I don't fucking get that shit. Like,
I want to give you something to notice the next time you watch. You don't even have to pay attention to the content. Just watch the show just for what I'm about to tell you. It's the funniest thing. Okay. Do you know that they have all the attorneys have this like bullpen of associates, right?
Right.
Okay. So the associates tend to look, if you look at the place, like look at the windows, look at the cubicles, look at it, everything. The associates are all down like in the basement. It's because the windows are like those high up windows. You know what I mean?
That's funny. I never noticed it.
Yeah, it's so funny. They're in these high up windows. And then like literally like a minute and a half later, you see the same character, not the associate, but let's say that Harvey or Lewis, this is a good example. Lewis was yelling at the associate. Well, the associate that he was just yelling at 37 floors below. And then he is up on the 38th floor, 50th floor, and he's like in this huge, overlooking like the Empire State Building and all that. I keep thinking, is this entire building owned by Harvey and Lewis and Jessica? And if so, what's in between the basement floor and the 40 something floor?
So that's funny. I never thought about the perception of that because here was my perception, right?
Okay. All right.
My perception is that they like season 4 or 5, they talked about going up a floor or down a floor. And so I got the impression that at their largest, they had 4 or 5 or 6 floors or whatever. Right.
Okay.
But I got the impression that this is some fucking high rise, right? And they've got everything between floor 35 and floor 50 or something.
Okay.
But I've always thought about like the associates, like they're just in a different wing on the same floor somewhere. But you're right. I never thought about it. Do the associates have another floor? And is it like in the fucking basement of the windows?
Check out the windows. And then the data center where I think we just had an earthquake. I think that was just an earthquake.
Oh my God, really?
I just felt a nice little rattle. I don't know. We'll be able to tell in a moment.
Fucking California. I do not want to live there. Jesus.
It happens all the time. There was like a few days ago, there was I think it was like a 4-1. So it wasn't, no, I'm sorry, a 3-1, which wasn't like significant, but it was enough where I'm like, oh, I am always thinking in earthquake mode now. Like, oh, was that just an earthquake? Not that it does anything, but I don't know. Anyway,
the ground moving below me being a normal thing, I do not want to live there. I'm sorry. I never, ever, ever want to live somewhere where the ground moving below me at any given time is a relatively normal thing.
I don't know. I still wouldn't want to live in an area that every winter, starting somewhere around September, there's an opportunity for there to be a fucking hurricane that I need to, hunker down through to get through between September and November. That's going to happen. And then, hey, I know December is kind of like mild oftentimes, but hey, when we get back into February, we're going to have these nor'easters that are going to hit. And then fuck it, sometime somewhere in the July range, we're going to have these thunderstorms that are just going to come through and just kick the shit out of all airline traffic. I'm like, I don't deal with any of that anymore.
I agree. That's why I don't live in Houston. I mean, in Austin, I'm telling you, one of the greatest things about Austin, at least the weather here, is that when it rains, it will like pour down rain for an hour or two. And then it doesn't rain for 2 or 3 weeks. That's all I get. if I lived in LA, like where you are, I'd miss the rain. I like having rain, but I don't miss it raining for 4 straight days like it used to in Baltimore.
Baltimore, never good. I'm like, you wake up and it's like, it's dark again the entire day. It's dark.
Right.
It's not good. All right, we got one more. Did you have any comments about the basement versus the high? Just notice it next time you watch.
No, I'm going to take a look now. I'm totally going to check it out.
All right,
Next
final
episode I
voicemail.
watch.
Let's do it, and then we'll bail because we are approaching our hour mark.
I agree. Here we go.
Hey, Doug. Hey, Rick here. Voicemail number 5.
Damn.
Whoa.
So I was done. I was finished. And then I remembered I forgot to make a comment about something you said, Strick. You're like, Jared, appreciate you coming on. I'm really sorry, but it's just that thing. Dude, it's not the same listening when it's not just you and Doug. So you don't have to apologize to me. I know I was a fill-in as a temporary spot there just to help fill the huge void that Doug leaves. And nobody can fill those shoes. So, so we love hearing you guys. And it's not the same when it's any different. But we still take it. We still listen. And we still love you guys.
Take it all.
And we appreciate when it's back to you two. All right, CFO.
That was very thoughtful.
Thank you, Jared. I appreciate that. And I was jokingly calling you a scab earlier, but that is, of course, not the case. But, you know, he brings up a valid point. The funny part about it is, as bad as we are, people get used to us. You know, you get used to these voices. I listen to podcasts. Okay, so we mentioned this before, and then we'll wrap up after I mention this, unless you have something else to cover. But you know, Michael Barbaro does the Daily.
That's so funny. The Daily, Sabrina Tavernise, right? Is that what
now
you're
Sabrina fills in a couple times a week. Like I'm thinking for Michael, I'm like, Michael, you don't do any of the stories yourself. You're literally anchoring this. And I know that it is important for you to be educated about the thing that the person's coming. So I'm sure there's some research, because according to a list of 10, research is one of the things you have to do every day. We know that. But your job just isn't that hard where you need to have half of your week off. I mean, what do you say, Strickland? Is Michael Barbaro? I love Michael. If you listen to that, Nice Guys on Business, thank you. I'm trying to be generous. I'm trying to be generous. But come on, really? Is it that hard for him to do 5 days a week and not have to have somebody come in and do the extra 2 episodes or 3 episodes a week?
I've been listening to the Daily more often, and I'm going to have a plus and a minus. Okay. I'm going to have I'm going to give him a little praise first, because I've also listened to, what's the other show?
Armchair one or the.
No. I want to compare apples to apples. It's the Daily is from,
New York Times,
right? The Washington Post. Okay. Oh no, Washington. I guess it's the Journal.
Okay.
So I guess it's the Wall Street Journal, right? The Journal also does a daily episode.
Oh, I did not know that. I would like that podcast.
Well, I'm very curious for you to check it out. I'm going to tell you what I don't like about it, and I'm curious if you feel the same way. It's called The Journal, and it is the Wall Street Journal, and it is a daily, almost exactly like the Daily, where they pick a specific topic and go into detail for it with it. Yeah. But the Journal does 15, 18-minute episodes. And for me, they don't go into enough detail. Like basically they will have a story and they will give you the facts of the story, but they won't give you their background at all. They won't give you enough. I'm trying to think of a good example, because after hearing the Journal, I think the Daily does an amazing job of this. They will give you the whole story. And I think they'll also be like, okay, so this happened, but what are the repercussions, or what could be the repercussions? So I'm not going to say they give their opinion. Okay. It's not like they're like left leaning or right leaning and they give their opinion, but they give you enough information and enough background that you really get the whole story. So where I listen to the Journal and I leave wanting.
So this is a slightly different point of view from actually the topic that I had initially talked about, although it is a fascinating direction to go in the content. Is it of value? It was more of the familiarity of the brand. The familiarity of the brand. I think no matter if Sabrina or Michael does the anchoring, I think that the content is great. I love the content. I love the people that they talk to. I just want Michael to ask all the questions.
Well, and that's the thing. So that was my other side of it, was you were asking, Michael, are you so fucking busy that you can't do every day? It's only 15 minutes, right? It's not that hard. I listen to The Daily and I really like what they have to say, but The Daily is typically Michael Barbaro, and they bring one expert on.
Of course, yes.
And sure, Michael Barbaro or Sabrina Tavernise, they have to ask the right questions, but they have a team of 20 fucking people that produce this show.
Listen to the credits.
Right? And it's not like they do a whole bunch of clips and they're literally, I imagine Michael Barbaro clicking connect on Zoom and saying, oh, hey, Steve, how are you doing? Okay, you ready? Here we go. And then Michael Barbaro looks over his questions that any of his 20 people on his team could have written for him. And they talk for 30 minutes. And you're done. And that's all he has to do.
I don't disagree with you. I think there's got to be a little bit more meat to it than that. I think he's got to understand the subject, because he does, like they were doing a story today. Sabrina was doing a story today on the border crossing on this one. I think it's called Eagle's Nest or Eagle something in Eagle Rock in Texas, where it borders to Mexico. She had to have enough context to be able to. Now, maybe she's either really good at asking the questions that are literally put in front of her, or she understands a little bit about it. Now, in either case, totally talent. I understand you have to be able to ask the question like you kind of already know the answer, but you're asking it for your audience. But at the same time, it comes across that she understands a little bit more complexity than just the questions that she is asking. I think that just comes with being an intelligent reporter.
No, I totally agree. And she's always impressed me with her level, her depth of knowledge when I've listened. You know what makes me think of? You remember Bob Costas?
Yeah, sure.
Dude, Bob Costas was a fucking beast. And I don't even know if he's still on NBC or doing interviews or something. But Bob Costas, like he was technically a sportscaster, right? And so he was always talking to athletes, but it would be baseball or football or hockey or whatever. But then whatever late night show that he had that was just an interview show, and it wasn't like, Carson, where you talk to somebody for 2 minutes. It's you talk to one person for 30 minutes or an hour, right? Fuck. That guy was so goddamn smart, because he would talk to musicians, he would talk to politicians, he would talk to businessmen, and he knew the shit inside and out. And it's like, dude, how can you know everything there is to know about fucking sports and then also know everything there is to know about rock and roll?
Hold on a second. Well, so they probably teed him up with subject matter that he loved talking about. Like if I said to you, hey, Strick, look, I know we don't have a lot of time to prepare for this, but I want to do an episode on 70s rock and roll guitar players.
Okay.
Come on. You could probably talk extemporaneously for 7 hours on that, but you could also talk intelligently about, systems platforms and cybersecurity and a bunch of other things that, to me, even if you only knew a little bit more than I know about the subject, you would come across as very intelligent for someone that doesn't have a lot of depth in that knowledge. Now, Bob Costas, he's just a learned, schooled journalist, and he just understands that. But yes, there is a certain amount of talent. But haven't you just met somebody that just you run into him and you're like, that dude is fucking intelligent. He's got or she's got intelligence.
Yeah, but there's also the breadth of knowledge, like
true.
Because again, when I think of Bob Costas as the example, right? Like, yeah, I know like a shitload about fucking music and tech music and PAs and stuff like that, but like sports, I don't know or fucking care.
Right,
it's like opposite end of the spectrum, right?
Yep.
And you think about sports and music; those are similar, kind of opposite, but then politics is like a whole nother one. And then business, it's like to have like really extensive knowledge of all of those. I was impressed. I don't know. He always impressed me.
So there is a bunch of people that were people that were in the co-host seat for a while, or maybe were made regular appearances on the Daily that spun off and did their own shows. I can't remember the name of any of them offhand. One guy ended up doing a technology show. Another guy did a political show, and some of them just did these what do you call those, true crime type of shows. But where is Sabrina? Why don't they just give her another show if she's good enough to co-host with Michael? Why don't they just give her own show?
Well, but you're just saying that because you want more Michael, right?
I do, and maybe just Michael just doesn't want to. He just doesn't want to do it. I mean, what else is he doing?
I have no idea.
Have you ever heard of Michael outside of the Daily?
Yeah, but I haven't been looking for him either. It doesn't mean he doesn't do anything.
I mean, I think we'd run into his name somewhere every once in a while. I've reached out to him a couple of times, asking him to be a guest on The Nice Guys, and I get a big flat no answer, but I sent a little bit of a scathing email about missing the date on something, and he's like, you could be more generous, Doug. Come on. So you're reading your email. You just choose not to respond to me if I'm inviting you on my podcast.
Sounds like you got a bit of a man crush on Michael Barbaro.
I do.
Which, of course, means I need to look up Sabrina Tavernise.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea what she looks like.
I have no idea.
I
don't even know how to
American journalist. She's very geeky journalist looking.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, there's something I find interestingly attractive about her, but I like geeky.
All right. So look her up and then look up. I want you to do a side by side. Okay. If you're in our community, look up Sabrina Tavernise and then
Tavernise, Tavernise. Mm-hmm.
And then look up Katie Balloons.
I don't even know who Katie Balloons
you can
is,
look
but I'll look it up. I'm looking it up.
Look up Katie Balloons and just type in the words Katie Balloons and then look for
balloon. I thought you were like
no. Balloons as in balloons. Balloons as in the things that blow up. Balloons.
Katie Balloons. Okay.
I want you to I'm going to share my screen with you for a second, all right?
Please do, because I'm looking at Katie Balloons. Okay.
All right. I have Katie Balloons. Okay. This is Katie Balloons.
Okay.
You got her in your brain?
Yeah.
This is Sabrina Tavernise. This is the same person.
I see the similarities.
This is Katie Balloons. This is Sabrina Tavernise. Wait, even better. This is Sabrina Tavernise.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Katie. I'm sold. You're preaching to the choir
Katie
now.
Balloons.
You're preaching to the choir, yeah.
This is Katie Balloons. This is Sabrina Tavernise. It's the same person, minus the nose ring. It's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Katie Balloons. She's going to get all sorts of SEO juice from us today.
Right.
All right, Strickland. Let's head out of here. We did it. We kept it at an hour and 10 minutes, somewhere around there.
Close to an hour.
But we were not going to an hour and a half. Any final words before we head out?
No, I'm going to go eat.
Nice Guy community. Thank you for being here another week. 2 words. Those 2 words are?
We're sorry.
Sorry, we still have yet to play a song. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, the only podcast I provide voice for and also actually listen to, I'm Steve O'Brien. Well, that's what I tell them, at least. Listen to the beginning and the end. All the stuff in the middle is just yak, 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 yak. You guys think I'm just some untouchable peasant. Serf, peon. Well, maybe so. But following a broom around after shitheads like you for the last 8 years, I've learned a couple of things. I look through your letters. I look through your lockers. I listen to your conversations. You don't know that, but I do. I am the eyes and ears of this institution, my friends, And when the nice guys on business hear about this, they're gonna be pissed.